for the first 37 years, there was 3 left tackles, actually 37 and a half. I think there's a guy named Jim Daniels that Paul Brown kicked off the team for drinking. But, you know, Lou Groza was actually the guy that scouted me in college. And so that meant a lot. And he was probably one of the first pro football players I ever met. And then when I came here as a rookie, I was behind Dick Schafrath, and for half the year I was behind him, and the other half I was in front of him. And Schaff and I became good friends, and Schaff was one of those characters. You know, he's always trying to get me to marry one of his ex-wives so he wouldn't have to pay alimony. But and then, you know, after, you know, Tony Jones was a good left tackle, and then when Joe came, I mean, he kind of raised the bar for everything.
I just remember coming in right after the draft, going into the media room and talking to the media about being a first-round pick and stepping outside, and I think somebody mentioned to me and told me about Doug and kind of the history of the left tackle and the position I was playing, that he wore the same number. And so it was good to meet him, and I think we had a couple laughs right off the bat, and we kind of hit it off right from the start.
The first day that I was out here, he came over and he said, "Hey, I apologize, you know, for taking your number." I said, "Hey, don't worry about it." I said, "I used up all the holding penalties." We had a big chuckle over it, and you know, it's an honor to have somebody, you know, wear your number that was a great player.
I love talking to him before every single game. We walk out on the field, we talk a little football, a little bit of life. I think we just have a lot in common, and it's fun growing a friendship with somebody that's a legend on the team that you're playing on.
Yeah, Joe was just a solid guy. I mean, Joe's not a rah-rah guy. Joe is a business guy. I mean, it's all business on Sundays. He takes a lot of pride in his craft, and you know, he's a guy that works at it. The thing about Joe is, you know, he came in as a 3rd overall pick, and when you got that, you got a lot of pressure on you to live up to the expectations. I think he's lived up to them, and he's exceeded them.
I'm proud to be here. I'm proud to be part of the history of the position, the left tackle position for the Cleveland Browns. And you look at all the great players that have been there before me, going way back to the 50s and 60s. It's really humbling just to look at all the great players that have been in my shoes and to be part of that club.
Have you met Dick Schafrath?
I actually did get to meet Dick about a month ago during the end of training camp. He came out to practice with Doug, and we got to share a couple minutes, and that was really cool, being in that small little group talking to those guys for a little bit, kind of sharing stories and talking about what the position means.
You know, Lou Groza, you couldn't ask for a better person, and a great football player. You know, we all think, oh, Lou Groza, the kicker. No, Lou Groza was a darn good left tackle. And Schaff, I mean, here's a guy who used to put weights in his jockstrap so that he could, you know, weigh in for a heavier weight. And Joe Thomas, I mean, he comes along, and Joe is, you know, like I said, he's been so special. And unfortunately for Joe, he hasn't been on a winning team really here. And you know, it's kind of disturbing, because I think to really appreciate Cleveland and appreciate the fans, you need to be on a winner to see, you know, where this town is when you do win, because it's special.